Right, let's go to politics now. Former DA KwaZulu-Natal Chief Whip Zwakele Mncwango has joined ActionSA as its new provincial chairperson. He joins the party days after he resigned from the Democratic Alliance. Let's speak to him about these developments. He joins us now virtually. Mr. Mncwango, thank you very much for your time. Obviously, I guess congratulations. This is what you've always wanted, joining ActionSA?
Greetings to you and greetings to the viewers of ActionSA. Look, it's hard to say I've always wanted to. I think politics, I would say days in politics are very, very short, unfortunately. And anything can happen within a day. Anything can happen within a space of a day. One have finally made a decision after, as you said, I've resigned from my former party and from legislature. And I think I thought to myself, or maybe have a few months sitting at home, relaxing, but I think things turned out this way where I quickly had to join ActionSA and get things working. And I think, obviously, one realized that after reflection that there is more work to be done in politics. One have a role to play in politics, especially in KwaZulu-Natal. And looking at what is like to happen come next election, we are definitely going to be having coalition arrangements where many parties have to work together. And I think it's a space for me to start engaging with other political leaders in the province to discuss about possible stable coalition arrangement come next election, because part of the problem is that we have these coalition arrangements that are happening throughout the country. We knew it will happen, but we don't engage as political leaders. We don't agree on certain principles. But I think it's important to set some principles to say these are the conditions we can work on when it comes to coalition arrangements, so that we have a stable government. And people are tired of this infighting within coalition arrangements.
All right, so you say you had to quickly join ActionSA, and that's what you realized. I'm assuming this is because, like you say, you had to hit the ground running ahead of the 2024 elections, and the people needed to get to know you as the leader of ActionSA in KZN. Let's go back to what you and I agreed on earlier, that, politics, days are not the same in politics. What was it actually that pushed you to leaving the DA?
Look, I think one have taken a position to really say less about the DA now, and I think it's fair for me to engage on ActionSA, what ActionSA can offer South Africans. And I can tell you right now that I joined ActionSA because I strongly believe in a non-racial society, and I believe ActionSA will be able to build South Africa where we are united, where no one is discriminated on the basis of their skin color. And I believe that we can really have inclusive growth in terms of economy, where all South Africans feel part of the economy of this country, where we've got a quality education system, where South Africans really feel part of this country in terms of quality education and equal education, where you don't find it currently where rural areas have a different education system as opposed to urban areas. And I think that's what ActionSA is fighting for, where healthcare system is actually equal for everyone, where you can go to a private clinic, get the same service as you go to a public clinic or hospital. And I think that's what we really need. And the rule of law, where we feel safe in our country, where women and children feel safe, where men take responsibility to protect women. And I think that's what we really need as a country right now. And I think those statements and values can tell you why then I'm here.
All right, so you say that you don't want to talk much about the DA, and I can respect that. But I'm sure you can see how your resignation, not particularly yourself, but how your resignation has added to the narrative that the DA is not a party that is very welcoming to black people, and the narrative that ActionSA is now becoming DA light. I'm sure you realize that you've added to that narrative.
Look, the interesting part about ActionSA, it has this organic growth in terms of all racial groups in South Africa. Look at the results. It's a party that was able to receive votes in Sentin, in Soweto. So it's not a party you can say it have a constituency of a particular race group. And I think that's where difference is. And I think South Africans really right now believe, and they can able to work closely with ActionSA, because I can tell you, most Africans believe we must be united. And there's no way we can build this country if we are divided. And that's why the space ActionSA is playing at, where you start organically grow in all communities. And other parties where you find that they have a constituency where they call it a black constituency or a white constituency, then try to force themselves in building structures in other communities. Here, we've talk of a party that is building itself in all communities and is talking about issues that affect everyone, because we're not talking about issues that affect a particular race group. We are talking about issues that affect South Africans.
Are you saying that your former home? Are you saying that your former home wasn't of that particular narrative?
That is why I'm saying I'm talking about ActionSA. Let the former home discuss on those issues. At the moment, I'm telling you about ActionSA, what I believe ActionSA can do for this country. And I have no doubt that the message of ActionSA resonates with all South Africans. Even today, I had a meeting with different communities. It's so exciting to see South Africans saying, look, we believe ActionSA can fix South Africa, because there's no way we can really go this way. And ANC's time is over. But the question is, which party can govern this country and govern for all South Africans? Which party we can trust to take care of the interests of all South Africans?
Let me just squeeze in a last question very quickly, because I'm running out of time. You mentioned coalition, and ActionSA is part of a lot of coalition governments across the country. One of the coalitions that it was part of that collapsed is the city of Johannesburg. Soon it might be the city of Ekurhuleni and even the city of Tshwane. And this is where you, as ActionSA, have worked more closely with the Democratic Alliance. How do you see the future in 2024 with coalition partnerships, when you see what's happening right now, during this time? I mean, for the electorate, it looks like a mess.
I think the foundation is wrong. The current problem we are facing, we only start negotiating after elections, as if we didn't know that there's election, where there's no space even to engage on principles. Let me make an example. When you start discussing now, for coalition arrangements, at least you can start to say to parties, look, can we agree that we have an issue of unemployment? Can we agree that we need to deal with the issue of education in our country? Can we agree we must deal with the issue of crime in our country? Then if we agree on those specific principles, then we say, how then we work together to achieve this vision? Because at least we agree on that. So I think at the moment we have coalition arrangement that get discussed after election, then it's end up about bargaining on positions. What's in for me, what's in for others. So I don't think that works. You mustn't discuss positions, you must discuss principle and the vision for the country. And you must share that vision from all parties that are prepared to work together.